What's up, everybody? Joshua Salvetti. Today we're going to be breaking down the High Performance Trader Discord live recap, right? We're going to be breaking down the week ending in 9/15/2023, right? We had a really eventful week, right? But what I really want to break down in this week is that this is normal, right? But when you're trading in the correct state of mind, you're going to be able to identify these opportunities, right? And I really want to get into today trading from a carefree state of mind, like completely in the zone, right? What Mark Douglas is always talking about, what all consistent traders understand, is that this trade is not significant. The next 100 trades are significant, right? What behaviors can I implement today that I can demonstrate over the rest of my life and breed consistency, right? Because as I grow as a trader, as the team grows as a trader, I can't help but realize the more laid back. The word carefree can be kind of double edged, but it is exactly what it is. Like, the more I could just put on a trade and not care about the outcome, but only care about my ability to demonstrate the process, right? How that helps so much to be able to capitalize on large moves, trending, right? And we've seen a lot of this week. It's I mean, and this is what the market's going to give us, right? Especially as it's more volatile. We're gonna get these moves, right? We're gonna get trends. We're gonna trade with them. And another thing I want to break down is like how that's helped me so much and the team as trading, right? Like not trading the reversals, trading with the trend. Like, does that actually work? Why, right? And how that worked this week. Um, it was insane. It was really good. Going into this week, 44852 was critical to me, right? And I made this little video on Instagram. I posted it last Sunday. I was like, listen, whatever. I was like, levels for the week, and I really singled out 44852. The market looked something like this last Sunday, and I was like, okay, whatever happens at 44852, whether buyers defend it or sellers defend it, that is how I'm going to be approaching the market, right? My cognition, right? My way of thought was strictly based on 44852, right? Like, what happens here, I'm going to react in. And that mentality has helped me so much as a trader, right? This gets rid of all the predicting. This gets rid of all the assumptions. This gets rid of all the nervousness, right? Like that anxiety that comes with having to be right. So, like, once again, I really want to break that down this week in this webinar, right? Like, why does reacting to price action, like, what are the pros of that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, Darren, how do you feel? What do you think about that reacting aspect? Like, what's it done for you?
Reacting, it just puts you in a position where you don't feel like you need to know what's going on, and you
Oh,
don't need to know what is going to happen next. All you need to do is just react.
yeah,
And I think it comes down to basically accepting that you don't have control over what price is doing, and
100%.
you don't even have control over your win rate or anything like that.
Yeah,
All you have control over is how you choose to structure your approach to trading, and through that is how you can achieve the consistency and ultimately profitability in your trading.
100%.
It's been huge. Reacting is, and this is why we trade the break and retest.
Yeah,
It's that
yeah.
that in the essence of the strategy.
Exactly. It's like, all right, what is the market doing? All right, so we're just gonna just a real recap of the week, right? So we came into this 44852 area Monday, right? So this was support, it turned to resistance, right? Buyers defended it here, sellers defended it here. Once again, reacting off this level, right? So price comes into it, we get rejection, right? Um keeps battling it. Another rejection, perfect double top off it, boom. Now, once we got above this, right? Once again, this is a bearish break and retest at this point, invalidated. Like, the importance of that invalidation is critical, because now, right, if sellers can't defend this level like they did and like they tried, it's not like, oh, my trade plan's invalidated, I'm not gonna trade. No, when my chart patterns are invalidated, those are my entries. Those are my slam dunk trades, right? Like break and retest to the downside, invalidated, went long, crushed it, right? And now watch Friday. So now this is a bullish break and retest, right? So now I'm looking for buyers to show up. But once again, if they don't, I don't care. I'm now gonna go look for shorts. Now my brain goes from bullish to bearish, right? That cognition, bullish to bearish. Boom. Now look at that selling we got yesterday when that level was broke, right? Like I don't know. Like I was just looking at this and I was just blown away when I'm journaling. I'm like, dude, once again, the break and retest being either validated or invalidated is my key entry, right? That's my key. That's how I understand who's in control of the market. That's how I adapt to it. Um, and obviously, everybody traded Friday. Look at that. It was insane, right? And then what made it even more critical over here on SPY is opening below previous day low, right? Like that right there is like extreme bearish. So now the way I'm looking at this is I can't even fathom a long play until we hold this. Right, I'm gonna trade with conditions until we hold this. I can't. I'm not even gonna think long. I'm just gonna look for shorts, and then once again breaking this. Now we have this support level over here. Um, that 44689 level, boom, snapped. And that was also another super critical level this week, right? And we're going to get into it, but wow, man, that was unreal. And going back to the whole carefree state of mind, right? I wasn't able to really be on my computer this day, right? And just watching this sell off, at not one point did I feel like I was missing anything, right? Because once again, as I grow as a trader and as everyone grows as a trader, you're gonna take the significance out of every single trade. If you miss a trade, so what? It doesn't matter. The market's going to generate opportunity. I don't need to act right now, right? That's where we gain control. We like Darren said, we can't control price action. We can only control ourselves, right? So as price is selling off, I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. I'm like, dude, an opportunity is going to present itself. You know what I mean? And it did. That was
And if
beautiful.
you don't feel that way right at the beginning of your trading career, that is completely okay.
It's
You just
normal.
have to know that that is where you are eventually going to get.
Yeah,
And if you don't, like, the more proof you have that you can rely on your strategy, the easier it will be
to do it.
to just sit back and say, I'm not trading today. And then if you do choose to trade, you're not rushed, you're not desperate. If you look
Yeah,
at the people who have gotten massively successful on trading, they have multiple streams of income besides their trading. They do
exactly.
not need their trading to survive. And as a result of that, they've become massively successful in their trading. It's like they've relied on their trading less and it's done more for them. And
Exactly.
that just goes to show that that coming from a desperate point in trading is going to set yourself up for a terrible time.
Yeah.
So I think that's what you mean by that carefree state of
Yeah.
mind is not coming from a place of desperation.
Yeah. Yeah. Because exactly. And it also comes right. Like, you need the money, right? You're gonna try to make a trade happen, right? And then you're gonna line yourself up and you're gonna rush it. You're gonna think you see something. Cause once again, your brain looks for, what it's, if that's all you can think about, I have to put on a trade. I have to put on a trade. You're gonna identify the first setup, right? There was a time I used to take this long right here in the morning, right? I'd be like, oh, dude, we're in demand, green candle going long, right? Like, because I needed the trade, I needed it to happen, and just getting to that
Your
point.
ego. You need to satisfy your ego.
That's what I was just about to say. Like then, that's to the point where and it's hard to get past this, but you need a winning trade to feel good about yourself, right? Like that right there is even worse because now you're basing like you're giving that trade so much significance, and that is just it's gonna kill you because now you're going, oh, I was wrong this day, how could I have done better, how could I have done better, which obviously you need to dive into your losers. But at the same time, we have to remember there's traders out there with 30% win ratios that are making tons of money, right? Like you don't need to be right every single trade. Like you don't, that's not consistency. Consistency is your behaviors being consistent, right? And so yeah, like that's
That's one of the biggest things I learned. That's one of the biggest things I learned in the last like 2 months is I thought that as I got closer to consistency, I would somehow, my win rate would just start going through the roof and I would
yeah,
start winning all of my trades.
right,
And it's not at all that.
yeah,
It's not at all that. You can see your profitability increase, your equity curve increase, and you can still maintain a 30% win rate.
yeah,
It's how you choose to cut your losers and how you choose to let your winners run is how that's going to affect your overall profitability. So if you're waiting around expecting to suddenly make a 90% win rate and that's what it's going to take you to profitability, you're just going to be stuck in a loop forever.
yeah, yeah, 100%. I was there for a long time. It's so true. It's like yeah, it's just getting towards that insignificance, right? So now, all right. So now we're gonna dive into some price action, right? So um, Monday was a okay. So I got QQQ over here on the right. Let me see. Now, hold on. Bear with me. My charts are kind of slow right now. Okay. See, Monday was critical, right? And this is going to play right into what we were talking about. So Monday you could see we approached that 448 area that I was talking about, that 44852. We were ripping pre-market, and end of day was right here. Now, this is one of those times, right? So we're gapping up very large. You guys know that gap fill. I love that trade. That gap fill trade will give you so much. And what I love about the gap fill is when I trade the gap fill, I'm completely in the now moment. I'm going, what do I need to see for a bearish play? Like considering we gapped up overnight. So I traded QQQ this day, and I want to show you guys why instead of SPY. Uh, Let me just do it. Okay. Because that now moment
Huge gap up.
yeah, that now moment trading is everything. Now, okay, here we go. Now QQQ. Um, we had previous day high over here at QQQ. Uh, okay. So this is kind of what the setup looked like. Okay, so we gapped up very large, right? Super large overnight. SPY was going right into that level that we were talking about, that 44852 level. Rejected it immediately. Now, shoot, let me. Okay, 2 minute. Okay. Now, anytime we gap up, right? I'm going, okay, what do I need to see here to put on? What do I need to see here to trade with sellers, right? Like we're gapping up. Obviously, that's somewhat bullish, but what do I need to see to be bearish, right? Once again, using the market to tell you, right? Like, okay, I'm looking at price action here. What do I need to see to put on a short play? So, one of the main things I like to use is that open candle. I don't think that really worked today. Here we go. My bad, guys. All right, now we got it. Okay. So, we gapped up super large, ripped right past that open candle, right? Now, I'm not just gonna hop in that. You know what I mean? You guys know how much I like to wait for the retest, wait for the trade to really play out, right? It's super important. But once we came below this previous day high, this is where I'm looking for a short play, right? So we break below previous day high. This is where I took the market short, right? Started to sell off, came up. I'm using this right here because, all right, so this 37512 area, right? This is a really important area because when I take the market short, I'm going, where do I need to hold above to understand that buyers are now in control, right? So obviously, I would like to use the open in this scenario, but it's way too far away from me, right? I'm not going to risk all that. I'm going, all right. I'm taking the market short. I'm going to put my risk right here at 375.11, and I'm targeting end of day, right? So this is how I set up a move. I'm going, okay, I'm going to risk here 20 cents, 30 cents, and I'm looking for a move potentially all the way down to 37283, right? Okay. So market starts to sell off, comes up, almost knocks me out of my trade, right? And now we're starting to sell off, we're starting to go down. Once again, approaching this from a carefree state of mind, right? Not going, okay, I'm up. Because at this point, I think I'm up around 50%. But I'm targeting end of day, right? So this is where I'm at as a trader. I'm targeting end of day. I'm looking for price to go below and go down to end of day. But what I want you guys to do and notice here is while you're in your trades, create structure, right? Because structure is going to help you trade management. It's going to help you understand conditions either changing or they're staying in your favor, right? So as we continue to make lower lows, I'm going, okay, I want to see price break below this and defend it, right? So price comes up, defends my area right here I got, breaks below it. We get some buying, get some buying. We couldn't hold bearish structure. So this is a key way. This is what I like to use to get out of my trades or stay in my trades. I know a lot of traders struggle with staying in trades. So this right here is how you stay in trades much longer. This is how you trade off the now moment, off price action, right? What it's telling you, right? Instead of just going, okay, I'm going to take profits here at 50% or I'm going to take profits at 70%. I don't care if I was up 100%. My goal is to trade structure and structure only, because if I can remain in the now moment and go, all right, this level right here is not being defended the way I'd like. I'm going to move my stop to this candle, right? Because until buyers hold this level, I'm still bearish. And then buyers break it, I'm out of the trade, right? And then price, continue to play around with it. And but that's how I want you guys to look at every single trade. I want you guys to be able to trade off of strict price action, right? Because for so long I would trade off profits. I'm up 30%, I'm up 50%, I'm up 20%, and once again, basing your ego on your last trade, right? Because I'm not gonna lie, it feels great, guys. It feels amazing to have a great trade. It feels great to make 50% return on a trade. But if you're basing your exits off of your P&L, you're never gonna capture large moves. And once again, those large moves make up for your losing trades. So once you're stuck in that, that's where inconsistency comes from. For the longest time, I used to just take trades, make 30%, make 50%, take it, take it, take it. And then it wouldn't add up on my losers. Or even if it did, I wasn't making as much money as I make now trading basically on price action. Because when you're trading based off price action, you're going to capture 200% moves on days like this, right? You're going to capture 200% moves like on Friday, right? If on Friday you entered a trade short here and you made 70%, right? Yeah, that's good. But you had a potential to make 200%, right? So, and not only like the how much money, how much making more money, the goal here is to trade from a super systematic state of mind, right? Where I'm only getting in and out of the market based on market conditions, right? Like the more I can just create my mind to trade strictly off market conditions, the better, right? Like that's where trade management comes in. And that's where you're going to get to the point where you can then add to winning trades, right? Because as trades continue to sell off, or go up, when you're trading structure, you're going to be able to understand, hey, is this a good spot to add to this position? Right? Like obviously, if we continue to hold under this 374 area and got a beautiful retest, that would have been a great spot to add. So once again, like trading based on price action, right? And then in that now moment is critical.
Josh, I think you got to mention that supply zone on at least on SPY. I don't know where it lined up on QQQ, but SPY had a beautiful supply zone that we opened up in
Yeah, that 44852.
on Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's do that real quick.
So that was I was watching that on Monday, and
Right there, that
it
break and
did
retest.
exactly what I thought it was gonna do. Yep. But the thing is, if you zoom into the 2 minute, which is what I watched what I watched price action like first thing in the morning, I did not see a valid entry, and I
Right.
wasn't about to chase that thing,
Right.
and I let that short get away from me, and I never actually went for it.
Yeah.
But
What
it rejected that supply zone
perfectly.
absolutely perfect.
It,
Yeah.
like that's what we were talking about in the beginning, right? Look, we got buyers right here. We break below it. So going into the week, we opened up in this level, and this is why the 1 hour is so crucial for me, right? The 1 hour is going to be your best friend. The 1 hour is going to help you understand entirely, right? Who's in control of this area, right? So I mean, basically, if buyers defended this, it would have been extremely bullish, right? But they didn't, right? We ripped into it. Um, I agree with you, Darren, 100%, right? Like, I mean, I like to really see, that break and retest off the open to why is my TOS
Because
keep
my
doing
thing is
this?
like the break and retest is our strategy, right? But once you're seeing it on such a large time frame, you
Yeah.
kind of need more confirmation once you zoom into the 2 minute.
Yeah, like
You're not just going to take that without
no,
valid confirmation on the 2 minute. At
exactly.
least I won't, and that's my process. I don't know. You might be different, but yes, it was a textbook break and retest on a larger time frame. But usually, I want to see more confirmation on a smaller time frame.
No, 100% agree. Right? Like if we got a nice retest off that open candle, that would have been beautiful, right? But we didn't. So,
Yeah, but nothing.
and
Yeah.
and that's completely fine. That's and every time I chase, it's never good. It's never good. Like it's always going to be a different opportunity. Anytime you like once again going into that desperate trading, right? Like the hunter we talked about last week with 10 bullets, but he needs food, right? He's going to take that first shot. He's going to chase that and that's never the way to go. Um so
But the thing that you can use from this day is that supply zone. Like, let's say you saw price knife away from that supply zone and you didn't get in the trade. You now can use that supply zone as a price magnet later in the day, and you
exactly.
got to keep it there in your chart, and you don't know if it's going to be used that day.
Yep.
But what you can notice is the head and shoulders that we saw around previous day high,
Yep.
and then you could find an opportunity to play with those buyers.
Yeah.
We saw, inverse head and shoulders, cup and handle, whatever you want to
Perfect.
call it. But
Perfect.
that just looked absolutely perfect to me.
Yeah, well, so what I really want to talk about that is once again, right? Like that whole trade management thing I was talking about. So considering you were in longs there, right? Or let's bring it back. Say you didn't put on a trade and you were like, okay, I'm completely observant. What do I need to see to put on a trade here, right? Like obviously this is going to be a critical level here because, sellers really rejected that. So now until this level breaks, right? Or if this level breaks, that would be a great move to the upside. Now, what do I need to see to be bullish here? You know what I mean? Well, I know an inverse head and shoulders is a bullish chart pattern, right? That's bank behavior. How can I trade with them? And like Darren said, this was a retest off previous day low. And
Yes, you got to look at Friday for it
yeah,
um, because since we gapped up in a pre-market on Monday morning, I saw a whole bunch of trapped sellers at Friday's highs.
yeah.
Got to go back a little bit.
Let me pull up Friday. Monday, Tuesday.
Go left.
Okay, there's Monday right here.
One more,
Yeah.
one more,
Bam.
one more.
Bam. Okay. This
Right here. So you see these, yeah, there's three peaks on Friday. What I saw in my mind when I looked back at the day before, I saw a whole bunch of sellers getting short here. And then once I saw price open above in pre-market, I'm thinking, man, those sellers are in pain right now. They are wanting to get their money back if price comes down into that level. And then once I saw the head and shoulders, and
yeah.
I could see that that was playing out in live time, that's when I took the market long.
Yeah. 100%.
So looking at like how the prior day is going to play into the next day was super critical for this play on for this long out of this,
Yeah.
this little break and retest here.
Yeah, exactly, right? And obviously it's not like an exact level, right? Obviously previous day high was up
Yeah.
here. It's like you got to get to the point where you're looking at price action and you're going, "Okay, we're coming into the previous day." Um, obviously there was some buyers defending that. Uh what do I need to see to go long, right? And sometimes you're not going to know, and that's fine. But if you can just wait, the market's gonna show her hand sooner or later, right? And that's been so beneficial for me. Like if I don't understand what's happening, I don't put on a trade. Like, and until I understand what's happening, I don't put on a trade. Like instead of like the first time price is going to touch the previous high, right? You don't need to put on a move. You can wait, be patient, and then be like, okay, if you were able to wait here until what is that, 12:20, you'd have been like, okay, here's a perfect inverse head and shoulders. Here's a nice little cup and handle. What do I need to see to be bullish? Right? Like I really like this break off this level right here, come down, tagged VWAP. I mean, that was super nice.
Yep.
And then ripping right into it, using that as your price magnet. I mean, and then even once price was starting to bull flag right around here, could have caught a beautiful, nice breakout straight into that price magnet of 44850. Yeah, and that level,
Yep.
that
And honestly, like I did feel like I was fighting conditions when I was taking that long, but the only reason that I waited so long is because I needed valid confirmation. I needed to see a clear bullish chart pattern because we just rejected that large break and retest.
yeah,
That's not usually a time to go long
right,
unless you wait and you see a valid chart pattern, which is what we saw.
yeah,
So I'm not like I only placed one trade on this day, and I caught it at the right time. And this doesn't always happen for me, but the reason that I waited so long was I needed more confirmation to go long. I'm not just longing this right away because
right.
that selling out of that supply zone is significant. I'm not just gonna catch a reversal there.
No, exactly. And then the next day, that level played even more critical, right? And now we talk about these market imbalances. We talk about, I mean, they're large areas, right, where there's massive amounts of buyers or sellers, right? End of day lined up with it perfectly here. So we ended up ending at that level, that 44852 level. That was right around end of day. And now the next day was a really good day because once again, I want to break down into why it's okay to have losing trades, right? So and why stomping out of them is so important, right? Because you could see here over on SPY, we open up well below, right? It's a gap. So now we're gapping down, right? So this all is a gap up. I'm looking to play up, or I'm sorry, I'm looking to fill this gap. But if the price doesn't give me a good risk reward, right, I don't want to take it. So what I was, going into this day, this is what it looked like to me. I didn't want it. I was like, okay, I can't really be bullish until we hold this level that we were battling in pre-market. There's a seller there, they're defending it, so be it, right? So price rips right into this level and we start to get rejections. And now I'm looking for a place to go short. Now, this right here, I don't really recommend doing too often, but I'm looking at this open level and we sold off right into previous day low. And then we come up for a nice little retest here. So I was looking to take the market short here, considering we just invalidated the gap up. So I was thinking we were going to get a little more selling. So I took the market short there right in the previous day low. I was then targeting the next zone below it at 44542 or 44552. And then the market reversed on me, right? Now, my stop is literally at my entry at this point. But once again, let's use that trade management. Okay, so I'm in this trade short. My stop's right above it. We break below it right here. I was extremely bearish, right? I'm like, okay, this is a perfect break and retest off previous day low on the 2-minute. Now, not exactly perfect because we didn't come up for the retest. And boom, buyers come in. At this candle, I'm now out of my trade, right? Done. Trade management. The structure was not validated, right? The structure was invalidated. So boom, I'm out of the trade. But getting out of that trade opened my mind up to bullish market conditions because I'm going, this structure was not validated. It was invalidated, and when structure's invalidated, that means if sellers aren't defending it, buyers are. So now what do I need to see for longs targeting that gap fill all the way up to end of day at 44852? I want to see this level defended, this 44693. Price came into it, started to reject a little, came down. We got this 2-minute candle here. And once again, right? Like, perfect retest off the level. This is where I took the market short, targeting that super large move to the upside. And this was crazy because it literally happened so fast. At first, I was targeting high of day, right? And then we literally ripped into it and then way past it end of day. Perfect market imbalance right here. So once again, like I want everybody to be at the point where they're using these levels, right? Whether it's the open, previous day low, previous day high, right? I don't care what level it is, but use a level to let the market show her hand, right? And once you understand, right? Like, yeah, this is a bearish chart pattern to the downside. I want to go short. Boom, go short, get stomped out. On to the next trade. What's the next scenario? Why did I stomp out? Am I stomping out just because I'm want to lock in profits, or am I stopping out based on price action? I'm using the candles entirely for me to make decisions. I'm using my levels entirely for me to make decisions, right? That's how we trade rationally and logically, right? You don't just want to be, all right, I'm in the trade short, I'm up 30%, I'm going to take it. That behavior is not consistent. You know, being, completely observant to the candles is how you're going to make your decisions. And then, boom, price comes into it, buyers defend it. Now, as you grow as a trader too, I'm not condoning, breaking your strategies or anything like that. But once I have confirmation in my mind where I'm comfortable enough to go, hey, sellers defended this, now buyers are. I mean, you could even enter this trade much earlier, right? Like, hey, there's nothing wrong with entering this trade right here, as long as you are using proper risk reward. And, it takes time to get there. You know what I mean? But that was a beautiful trade all the way up to end of day. And then we got clear rejection there. This was a perfect example of how price could be a magnet, because then look, price then broke off, sold off, and then once again, taking your profit at end of day would have opened your mind up to this beautiful short, because then we came, touched this level again, and I was able to capture another move all the way down to that 44852. So that level right there just
You know
paint.
what I love about that?
What's up?
That trade entirely using the open and end
Yeah.
of day.
Yeah.
If you made a trade between the open and end of day,
You killed
you
it.
have absolutely slammed it. And those are two of the four critical levels that are given to us on every single daily candle.
Yeah.
It's honestly that simple.
Yep.
Like, if you're not using those levels, you need to start doing it, because this is a perfect opportunity, and this is playing with conditions.
Exactly.
Like, this is not rushing. This is letting the market paint our picture and using these levels to your advantage.
Yeah. Well, and that's
Great trade right there.
yeah, and that's why, like, right, like I stress these so much. It's like, and once again, I don't care what happens at them. I don't care. But as long as I can understand what's going on, I can make money. As long as I can go, okay, like so many traders get caught up on this. Like if they let this first trade get out of hand, they would have missed these two massive moves after it. Like literally at the end of the day, trading options, this trade was almost 200%. Like just a massive sell off at the end of the day, 0 day options. This right here is like this will account for 20 losing trades. You know what I mean? Like, so it's just understanding, right? Like, who's in control, how can I trade with them? Um, you
But
know,
that end of day rejection was a beauty right there.
yeah, that was
And
Oh yeah, so
that that HPT pattern showed itself right there on the
yeah,
10 minute
I'm about,
time
I'm about
frame.
I'm about to pull it up, Todd, because that right this is the bread and butter right
that
here.
a HBT pattern right
Yeah,
there.
of course it is.
Yo,
Look at this. Todd took that. Like listen,
it's
this
a GBI out of end of day rejection
this
with the retest and a
Yeah,
lower high. Come on now.
now let's look at this though. Now, just being aware of that pattern, right, is the reason why I got out of this trade too. Because once you are starting to trade really carefree and you're ripping in the end of day, I'm not just taking profits at end of day. Because for all I know, we could rip way past end of day, right? We don't know what's going to happen right here, right? So how do I use my analysis and my trade management to make a decision here? HPT pattern, right? So once price ripped in the end of day and we got that rejection, we came up at this point. I'm going, here's my structure. When we break this 44821 area, I'm out of the trade. We came up, we got a lower high. That's actually where I got out of the trade, is this candle right here, because that right there was screaming to me that sellers were starting to take control. But if once you understand this pattern, you can understand what's going on, because now we break below it, come up for that retest, everybody was stomping out right there. And look at the massive amounts of selling here that came in, right? Like price ripped up. Your ability to identify the HPT pattern right there would have saved you so much money. Broke below it, came up for the retest. Once that structure's broke, it's over. Boom. Selling came in hot. Yeah, that was beautiful right there, man. That was
love it.
yeah, if you got in at that right there, you crushed it. You know what I mean? That was beautiful. It's all about identifying
And the volume that came in there.
yeah, premiums were
You see
ripping.
that?
Yeah, hell yeah. Premiums were going through the roof. Now, and once again, it's all about just identifying the structure. Now, let's look at it like this as well. This right here is a bullish break and retest to the upside, right? Once again, we have a break above high of day. Now, in a bullish scenario, buyers are going to show up right here. This has helped my trading so much right here. This is everything right here, guys. If you take anything away from being on the Discord, take this. This right here is a bullish chart pattern, right? We could all agree. We've just broke past resistance. We're now looking for previous resistance to or supply to act as demand, right? We're looking for buyers to defend this. Boom, we sell through it, invalidating the bullish break and retest. So if this chart pattern's bullish and we just invalidated it, that is a slam dunk reason to be looking for shorts right there. Your brain needs to go right here. Your brain needs to go, okay, right now I'm 80% bullish, 20% bearish. Right here, your brain needs to go, I am 95% bearish, 5% bullish, right? You need to be able to switch that your cognition, right? And be able to go, okay, now I'm bearish. What do I need to see to play with market conditions? I mean, there was multiple things you could have used. I mean, I don't even care. You could have used trend lines. I mean, anything. Clean break below it. And you have to be able to understand. And now when the market's going like this, now I'm going, okay, if I could get a retest here, I'm in, right? But we didn't get a retest there. But you have to keep your eye on all structure because the market's just going to do her thing, right? So it's like, okay, where can I find structure? Bam, look at that. Just, you're not always going to be able to just predict it perfectly. It's not going to be, okay, a retest at 44782 would be perfect here for a bullish break and retest. But if not there, what's next, right? 44756. Boom, come up right into VWAP. This is extremely bearish. If now once again, if buyers can't defend this level, I'm going short because I could put my stop right here and it's over. Boom, boom. And now it's like, okay, let's just keep using structure here to stay in the trade. I mean, look at this one. That was perfect. Price, wherever buyers show up, wait for it to break and sell. Like that's literally like that's the epitome of it. And then we break right here, come up, retest it perfectly, boom, just really start to sink. I mean, right in the low of day, everything. So I mean, look at that. And then we sunk below that, couldn't hold that. So one, and while you're in the short, you're going, okay, what do I need to see to understand sellers aren't present anymore? Right? I'm not just getting out of the trade up 100%, 200%. You know what I mean? I'm only getting out of the trade based on what I see in front of me. That structure is everything. And then price continues to go, and then you continue to create structure. And now, I mean, look how we're continuously retesting structure here. And then once we hold above structure, say you got out right here, that was the best spot to get out. And then it literally hit our target from the previous day. So it's and this is hard to do, guys. Like I'm not sitting here saying it's easy, but what I am saying is lower your contract size. Like if you're a trader that usually trades 2, 3, 4, 10, 100 contracts, lower it. Get to the point where you can trade strictly on price action and watch your consistency go through the roof. Like, think about it. Did I give back 50% on this trade? Absolutely. Right? I went short here. How much was that? That was almost $1 move to the downside. So that right there is a 60% return. That I think I made 5% on this trade. I gave back 55% return here. But trading this way allowed me to smack 2 home runs by the time the day closed. So it's like, get yourself to the point where you can trade strictly your process, right? Which is literally structure, break of structure, break and retest, right? Who's in control? How do I know that? Like which levels are being broken? Who's defending them? You get to that point in your trading, you're gonna find yourself making way more money. That is what consistency is, right? Like, so yeah, that day was phew, that day was beautiful, man. And I used to look at days like this and be like, oh man, price action was all over the place. I could have never made money. You, you know what I mean? I used to look at days like this and be like, oh man, that market gave us bullshit. That was garbage. Chop, chop. No, it's not chop. You just don't know how to trade it. But
Yes,
okay.
sir. That's what journaling does, though.
Exactly, and it takes time, right? Like I don't, I it does take time, but understanding, right? Like what do I need to see? What am I actually looking for? And that break of structure though is it's really good. Now this was CPI, another perfect example here of okay. So let's break this down. So we obviously have this level of 44852, right? This is our magnet. Um, Now end of day was right here. Okay. All right. So and then previous day low. Okay. So CPI was this CPI day? Yeah. This was Wednesday. Yep. Um. Now, my first trade of the day was a long, right? I took the market long off pre-market low. I'm sorry, pre-market high, which was 44657. Let me just clean up these lines a little bit because it. Okay. All right. So really nice pre-market high retest, right? Now, once again, we're gapping down, so I'm looking for a reason to be bullish. I'm looking for a reason to take the market long here. But once again, if I don't get that reason, I'm okay with shorts. Look at how end of day was defended right there to the set, right off the rip. Now, I was not able to get in that trade long there. I usually don't like chasing the market that fast. I like to see the open candle more defended. Um, but price came down and tagged pre-market high pretty well at 44658. So this is where I first took the market long, just trading my strategy. It's all good, right? And then we started to get, boom, stomped out of the trade. Now, this is why if you're not trading hard stops, you must trade hard stops. There's no way around it. I do not believe in mental stop. Once I stopped using a mental stop, I became consistent. Like hard stops has literally been the foundation of consistency for me because it takes all the human
Same,
it
same,
it takes
100%.
all the human emotion out of trading. Yeah, does it suck sometimes? Absolutely. Because I actually got stomped out on this candle. I entered the trade long. Uh, this was like a 40-cent move to the downside. So I got stomped out here. And then I seen this. And I'm like, oh man, this thing's gonna rip. So be it. Don't care. At this point, I'm going, if we can hold 447, I'm looking to re-enter. Right? Couldn't. Boom. Out of the trade. Now, if you were
Yeah,
to
I could show you multiple examples where hard stops suck.
yeah,
I could show you
yeah,
tons of examples, but
yeah,
at the end of the day, it's helping me get consistency. So like,
yeah. It's
I'm not complaining.
well, it's the price, right? Like, so say this started to rip, right? And I got stomped out, and it was a winning trade, right? That's the price of avoiding this because this candle right here will cost you 50% of your position, 100%. This is a dollar move to the downside in 5 minutes, right?
Quick, ooh,
This right here, and that's considering you get out at this candle. Your mental stop just doesn't work that day. This will end up costing you 80%. I did that for years. I did it for years when I tried to use mental stops. And it killed me. So I'm out of the trade at this point, and now I'm going, okay, a break and retest off the open. This is pretty bearish, right? But I hold that previous day low was way too close, so I wasn't comfortable going short right in the previous day low, right? Sit back. I'm patient, right? I'm not just entering trades. I'm not just hopping in. Let me whip out the 2 minute because there was a really good trade that I didn't take. Where was it? It was this day. Look at this. So, okay, so we sell off. I get stomped out of my trade. Now, I'm looking for a move at this point down. Um, didn't like it. If someone did take this trade right here, though, I'd applaud them because that's a beautiful trade. This trade makes me a lot of money. Off,
thank you.
off. This trade right here.
That's me right there.
Yeah, this trade right here makes me.
Off opening thing.
Yes, this is a beautiful setup to the downside. Um, sold off.
80%. 80% right there. It might look small. It might like you missed the move.
Yeah,
80% right there with the trailing stop.
good.
Amazing.
Yeah, and that's it. That's all you need. I mean, and now look at it though. If you used our structure theory, right, and you stayed in this trade until it broke your structure, you could have potentially made 200% down to pre-market low or 150%, right? And once again, like taking
Yep.
setups off price action. So this was then invalidated, right? So price then rips. I'm looking for a nice retest off that open print. Didn't get it. Um, if someone hopped in here, that would have been great. But this is where I couldn't find good, like the volume got very low. It started to dry up, and we started to hover around this high a day level at 447. Um, there was multiple places that I was looking to go long, but I didn't, and we just didn't have it right. QQQ wasn't lining up at her critical levels. So once again, here's a clean example of not knowing what to do, so I don't do anything. If you can just stop making trades when you're not when you don't when you aren't your edge isn't present, that's like it will save you. Because being patient this day led me to a beautiful setup here. So I was noticing this trend. We were kind of getting these higher lows, but we weren't getting higher highs, right? We couldn't make a higher high, but we were getting higher lows. So that's was making this pennant chart pattern once again very bearish. And I'm like, what do I need to see here to take the market short? There's the HPT pattern right there. Boom. The break, the retest of the trend line, right? And off this 4473. Now this trade paid out over 250%. Once again, waiting for volume, right? This was at 2 o'clock. Waiting for volume. Just wait, like waiting. If you could just trade, not desperate. If you could just sit back, right? You would have been able to approach this trade with buying power, um, and everything, right? So I took the trade short here, and I wasn't at this point. Like this was so back and forth. I was like, okay, like whatever happens, happens. I'm entering the trade short, and I put my stop right at 447, like at 2022. Or I'm sorry, at 44729, right? My stop is right above my entry because once again, if price gets above this, that's invalidating bearish conditions. So using that trade management once again to make to trade, and then boom, once 447 couldn't hold, it was over, and then we ripped right past in the end of day here. That's where I trimmed my position, right? We ran into end of day, trimmed, and now I'm going, okay, what do I need to see to stay in this trade? And I think I had because I had some runners at this point once I trimmed my position, and price ripped up, couldn't break my structure off this candle, and we came down, and then I was like, okay, if we cannot break this level, I'm out because I was targeting that low of day at that point. Well, one,
That's good trade.
yeah, right. That's it right there. That pattern right there is going to help you so much to trade with market conditions, right? Like that break lower high that's gonna make you
Yeah.
a lot of money right there. It,
Yeah. With the retest too, you got see sometimes you don't get the retest if it's a big bar like that, but if you
yeah,
get the retest,
yeah,
man,
yeah. You have to take that.
yeah, for sure.
So that was a massive. That was a really good trade right there. And then the next day was very clutch. This day was phenomenal. And what I want to note, what I really want to point out here, let me get rid of some of these lines, is the that 44852 level there that we were talking about there on the 1 hour chart. This was that level.
44852.
Yeah, that was the level right there on the 1 hour that was break and retested. And then this is what I my trading philosophy is literally look for patterns to be validated but also invalidated, because this right here, right, once again, I'm gonna,
Equally as important.
yes, if not more, literally, if it might even symbolize it, the conditions even more when this is invalidated. It's crazy how much this has helped me to trade in the now moment and make money. Like we that 44852. Look at that. Extremely bearish. We opened above it, right? That's a game changer right there. That's literally a game changer right there. We're breaking above it. So at this point, I'm going, okay, this level still matters to me. But today, I'm bullish. Sellers cannot hold that, which means if sellers can't hold, buyers are holding. Like I know I say that all the time, but it is so important to look at it that way. Like if sellers are holding, great. But if they lose control, you must trade with buyers. I mean, look at this. This was insane. And another thing, look at how previous price action here were perfect targets, guys. Like perfect. Hold on. I don't know why this isn't. That's one of my favorite sayings, previous price patterns, right? Those are my targets entirely. So once we're holding above this level now, let's go back to the 2 minute. Well, let's walk through it. So holding well above it. Okay. So I'm going to whip out the cues because I had a phenomenal gap fill play on this day as well. That gap fill play is just it's amazing. So
You've been hitting that one a lot.
yeah, that's been like my go-to. And what I loved about it on this day as well is because it lined right up with previous day high, which was just like even more confirmation on the cues, right? So we're gonna break down cues real quick. So QQQ, let me get rid of pre-market data real quick. Just because I love really explaining this strategy because this is another strategy that's going to help you make a lot of money. We're gapping up. Look at how we start playing with previous day high here. So this red line, previous day high at 375.82 or 83. We're selling off. We literally rip, come down below, and start retesting this level, 375.82. I'm in the trade short at this point. My stop loss was 376, and we literally sold off, flying down all the way to end of day. And once again, using structure here to understand who's in control. So this ripped all the way down. I took profits at end of day, right? Because we broke that structure, right? We started to rip back up. I then re-entered the trade on this pullback and took her back down to end of day. This trade was really quick. In the Discord, I called it the two-step. Because this is a trade right here, ripping in that previous day high, stop loss below it, or above it, breakdown, hit your target, and within 4 minutes, you're entering back into the trade, right? Capturing a quick 8 minute, 10 minute move right back to end of day. Super good strategy. But then check out how we defended that same level, previous day high. This was my next trade to the upside, targeting 37750, right? So once again, using one critical level to paint pictures for you. Just beautiful. But while all this was happening, SPY came down, retested her previous day high, perfect, and just rallied up into all of our targets. Darren, is that?
To the cent.
Yeah. Did you take this trade? Look at that.
No. So what I
Look
did
at
is
that.
if you zoom in on the 2 minute, I can kind of explain like what I was looking at. So I was watching Tuesday's highs. For some reason, I had Tuesday's highs marked on my chart, and I guess I put a lot of weight on it, possibly too much weight. But what happened was it was actually a 44853 level. and basically
Oh
price
yeah,
came down.
four
The
four eight
bottom of
five.
the opening candle.
But
Are
that,
you there?
yeah, hold on. That Darren, that level was the level, that 1 hour time frame level we were talking about. 448.
44853.
Yeah. Look at, I got it right there. 44852. Okay.
Uh,
Okay, go ahead.
yeah. So initially we came down, and I saw a weakness there. I saw lower highs, and I went short, targeting end of day, and then you can see price just ripped back through on SPY and stopped me out I had my hard stop there, stopped me out, but then it came back and it retested the opening print, like
Yes, right
like
there.
to the set right there,
Yep.
bam, right there.
Yeah.
It wicked into the opening print, and I saw volume kicking up, and at the same time, that's when QQQ was doing this bearish break and retest. So
Yeah.
then I re-entered, and and then
Yeah.
and then I took that trade all the way down. I was up like 70%, and I don't ask me why I didn't take my profits. It was literally a cent away, possibly even hit it to the cent previous day high,
Yeah.
and I did not take my profits, and I let it go back, and I took my profits when it broke structure at like 20-30%. But I think I just got greedy. But I think the lesson learned is that you need hard stops, first of all, and second of all, I guess don't be afraid to re-enter.
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing was invalidated. Nothing was invalidated by that pullback. The
Yeah.
only thing that was invalidated was, or the only thing that happened was rushed sellers got stopped out, like myself, and then I just had the courage to re-enter. And I had a great risk to reward because I had the opening print there as my clear stop out zone, and I also had QQQ to watch, which was holding below VWAP. So I guess I just rushed it. I was a little bit too eager, and luckily that winner made accounted for that loss.
Well,
But I don't know.
one thing I want to say, Darren, and one thing I want to work on this week, because me and you were talking earlier, right? Like, I've been given obviously our goal is to trade with price action in trade management, right? Like, that's my goal every week. I do find myself giving back a lot of profits because of that. So my goal going into this week, right? Because I took this trade long. Price ripped up into supply. I held it all the way through this, right? And I literally held this trade, and I made money by holding it, right? But at the same time, right, I want to get to a point where I was just talking about it before. When we're creating bullish structure here, and and Todd, I usually am constantly using that HPT pattern to understand, right? Like, this should have been my exit, right? I want to start using the 2 minute structure for my entries as well as my exits. I mean, this pullback cost me it was I think it was up 97% on this trade. This pullback cost me almost like 70% of it, if not more. And then price then comes back, and now when I was up 91% here, right here I was up maybe 75, right? Cuz time decay. So, that's one of my goals this week, is because think about it. If I was able to take this trade long right here, make, let's just say, 80%, get out of the trade, this would have been a perfect level of reentry. So that's my goal going into this week, is, you know, being like, okay, because as you cross over into that carefree state of mind, right, that we want to be in, you're gonna find yourself holding through a lot of things you shouldn't be. So that's just where I'm at, right? Because I mean, look at that. That was another perfect HBT pattern to the downside. I would not have taken this short though, only because conditions were extremely bullish while holding above that 44858. So, um,
Josh, can you mark on SPY? Can you mark the opening print on this day and then zoom in close to that 2 minute candle when it retested on the break
yes,
and retest? Because
yeah,
I got a question and I just want to talk about that. So
absolutely. Let me see here. So open print. was.
should have
Oh
been
man, look at that.
four
449.
44907.
Got it.
Yep. Okay, so yeah, now you're on. Now you can see that 2 minute. So the way that that price retested that open, it happened so fast. Like
Yeah.
like it happened ridiculously fast, and unless
Look at
you
that
had your
volume.
finger on the buy button and you were getting in there, I mean, that could have gotten away from you really fast, and you could have been assuming a lot of risk
Right.
if you had hesitated, which I did. I hesitated, and basically, it was too much risk. It got away from
Right.
me too fast,
Yeah.
and it felt like I was chasing it, and for that reason, I didn't put the trade on it because I didn't want to, I didn't want to let price retrace
Right.
a whole
100%.
70 cents just to go up to whatever my next target was. So I don't know if anybody else had that problem, but I just wasn't quick enough, and it got away from me, and I wasn't willing to assume that much risk for my trade, so I just didn't put it on.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Well, so dude, I applaud it. I applaud it, honestly, because at the end of the day, our job is to be risk reward traders. High probability, low risk, high reward. Um could you have identified structure here for another entry? Absolutely. Right? That's how I would have approached it. Is like, okay, at what point is structure broken? If I know this is bullish and it got away from me, right? I would then be like, okay, at which point do I need to see broken that can leave me another low risk, high reward setup, right? Now we ripped into this level. You could have definitely hopped in here with a what is it, a low stop. But
Yep.
even if you didn't like that though, because technically you still have to wait. At that point, I'm waiting. This is a waiting game now. The market will generate more opportunity, which look, it did perfect right here. This was a super lovely. And is this trade uncomfortable? Absolutely. This is one of the most uncomfortable trades you're ever going to take. But this trade is going to make you money. This right here is 70 moved to the upside at 1230. This is going to make you 60-70% return. Um
Yep.
and look how that held. Look how that held. We took this trade.
Amazing, dude.
We took this trade in the Discord. It was phenomenal. And even if you held this all the way,
I think
it literally ripped all the way up to our 451 target, which was our previous price action from the day prior.
yep.
It was phenomenal. Um yeah, I mean
And
I
something that could have helped me this day is realize that we were above that critical supply zone,
yes, that
which
448.
which we had eyes on all week. We had eyes on it Monday, Tuesday, and just the fact that we were seeing that buying above that level, I
Was
think I should
everything.
have taken that into more consideration
Exactly.
and just been like, you know what, conditions are bullish enough. I'm willing to target higher, and even if my stop wasn't exactly on the break and retest, I think I still could have done it as long as I
Yeah.
had my hard stops in. That's the only way I would have done it. Is I
Well,
wouldn't have been able to wait for the break and retest. I would have just figured out how much I was willing to lose,
yes.
and then put that risk on the table.
Well, exactly. And I'm glad you highlighted that because that's something I as well want to use more going into my future as a trader because, we're not always going to get everything lining up perfectly, right? Now, using that level for Friday was the exact same scenario, right? Now, obviously, we broke and held above that level, but then it was invalidated, right? 448. 5-2. Look at how it was invalidated, though, right? Look at this. Dude, a perfect break and retest off this level Friday. I mean, break, retest, right? Insane. Now, what's next? Holding an opening below previous day low. I want you guys to see something here. Because without pre-market data, this cleans it up like no other. If you are opening like this, would you even consider longs? Absolutely not. There is nothing other than holding above 447 0.7 right here. There's nothing that can make me even remotely think long at this. I mean, large gap down, obviously, right? There's always potential for a gap fill, but you have to look at it in a market context way, right? Like we've literally sold off so heavy, invalidating that 44852 level. We're opening below previous day low, extremely bearish, right? Now, obviously, there's this little level right here, but at this point, you have to be like, okay, I'm extremely bearish based on the information in front of me, right? Because like I used to struggle as a trader, and I'd be like, oh well, this is a gap down play. Why wouldn't you play a gap up? Well, you're just decimating all bullish levels. What's that telling you? That's screaming play shorts. That's screaming play bears, right? Like, and just being able to do that is going to help you so much as a trader. Um, it's everything for me. That's literally how I trade every single day. What's being broken, and how can I trade that? Now, and that was that. I mean, Friday once again, it just was a beautiful setup, a beautiful demonstration of why we trade the way we do. Right? This is gonna once again get all the emotion and anxiety out of your plays, because when you're trading like this, I mean, one like it just okay, we came into this level 44693. Let me put the pre-market data back on real quick because I think that okay now it's just beautiful. Look at that. And now once again, the way I'm doing this is I'm going, okay, I'm bearish until otherwise. Well, what's otherwise? I need to see levels be defended. I need to see buyers defend this. For bulls, don't let that make you miss a short play, right? Because even if you are a reversal thinking trader, which I was for years, think of it like this: what do I need to see to go long? But if I don't see that, that means go short. Once again, invalid to valid. Uh, Perfect break below this level. A perfect retest and rejection right here. Once again, Darren, this is one of those scenarios where it happens so fast. No one's going to be able to capture that, and I don't even want them to, right? Like, and if this trade got away from you right here, like say it just started to sell off, don't chase it. Chasing will make you vulnerable, right? Like as you grow as a trader, you may be able to find scenarios where you can see this enter, and maybe it works, and that's fine if it works, right? But in the beginning, like beginning development of consistency, don't chase this. I still wouldn't chase this, right? Don't chase that. You know, because say you miss this whole entry, right? This whole setup. Say you were walking your dog, whatever, it doesn't matter. Once again, what do I need to see here to be bullish? I need to see buyers above this level. Like, unless we sell all the way down to a very strong demand zone, right? Like, it needs to make sense to you. Uh, and now, boom, right? Now we break way below that level. Once again, don't chase it. Don't chase it. We come up. I mean, this was textbook right here. Boop. That was beautiful. And then we got the massive sell off there. That was poof. And then it kept holding. Yep. It kept holding. I held this trade all the way till right here. This was perfect, and I wasn't even gonna be at the market this day. I put my trade in, guys, right at this level, hard stop in, and it was it. I identified weakness right here at this candle, and I was willing to enter short here with my stop above this structure. Right? Once again, just using structure to put on trades and understand market conditions is everything. I put on my short right here, put my hard stop in, and wasn't even watching the market. And then I just had my alert set. I had my alert set for this level being broken and then this level being broken. Heard my little alert go off, took profits, done. Boom. It was a really good day, though, right here.
I want to go over that break and retest right at the beginning of the day, because I actually took that. I entered on the 10 o'clock candle, but where I got that demand zone, I think was the most important thing. So, and it was back on.
Oh, so you did enter on this candle. Nice.
Dude, I did. And it felt crazy, but if you go back and see where that demand zone, that little green
Yeah.
price level, I guess you have there.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to probably zoom out to
right here. I see it. Boom. Hold on. That was the level we battled on CPI all day. 447 level. Right there.
Yes.
That's where I had
it
it.
was.
Because that's exactly was all this mess.
So the reason that I took that level into consideration, because that is the last time where sellers controlled that level. And I saw a lot of, like, I imagined all of the buyers that were trapped at that level. Like, thinking about everyone who bought at that level and then price moved away so fast that they couldn't get out of their positions.
Yeah.
Now they're just waiting to get their money back.
Yeah.
So as soon as we broke below that level and retested it from the bottom side, that was their signal to, that was their last chance to get out
Yeah.
to save any sort of profits they had. And it was a phenomenal entry. The way that I played it was, I entered on a 2-minute candle, like before I even saw any red candles. But what I did is I just put my hard stop in at the top of that zone, and I actually like was in class and stuff, so I couldn't even watch it right after I put in, but I just put in my order, and then I put in my hard stop, like, right above it at the top of that zone, and I would just let it go. I knew my hard stop was there.
Yep.
If it went above that, I was totally fine with it. And the next time I looked at it, I mean, we had strongly moved away from that level, and we were seeing weakness. And I ended up putting my trail stop right where you got into that short, and then it basically captured profits all the way down to 444.55.
Yep. Well, and look at that retest off the open candle. It's insane. Now, this is on the 5-minute.
Yep.
Right? Just beautiful retest off that. Once again, validating market conditions perfectly. And just, once again, it doesn't matter which trade you take. There's no perfect trade. There's no right trade. The only wrong trade is not trading your process, right? So like my main goal this week and every day of my life is just trading my process. And I used to hear traders say that, and it used to annoy me because I'm like, all right, yeah, whatever. Yeah, you trade your process. You don't care. Right. But but now I finally understand the significance in it and why it's so important. Right. We can't control the price. We can't control the move. All we can control is our ability to enter a position, put in a hard stop, and target. It's like, I hate saying it like it's simple, but it is that simple. Like, become that person that enters a trade and puts a hard stop in. And just with that alone, watch the difference in your mentality, in your actions, behaviors, like your results. It's all going to start to change. Because once you admit you have no control over this other than your entries, exits, and stops, that's when you can finally start to really grow as a trader. And I just stress it so hard because I struggled with that heavy for a long time, and it cost me a lot of money. So like years, I just didn't look at it that way. I tried to outsmart the market every day. I tried to use mental stops, and it cost me a fortune. So like, just once again, trade with trend. I don't care how much it's selling off. Now, do not think reversal. Like, that was another thing that crushed me as a trader, was trying to always find the reversal. Trade the long-term trend, right? Trade the 1 hour. And that's another thing that's helped me tremendously. Yes, can you make money on this pullback? Absolutely. But you making money on this pullback is going to program your mind so wrong. Right? So like, you want your brain to look bearish on days like this. And there's just a lot of benefits that come from it. So, but yeah, that was it, guys.
Yeah, one more thing that helped me this week like crazy was just look at the prior day and look at every single day when the market closes, go back and look at the price action of that day and look where is the last place that buyers or sellers strongly controlled price, and then use that level the next day. If we go above it, think that there's going to be sellers stopping out, providing liquidity for buyers, and if we end up below it, think that there's going to be buyers stopping out, causing price to sell off. Just about every day this week, we saw that exact thing happen, and that is how I made my pre-market plan going forward. So Monday, I watched buyers at Friday's highs get stopped out. Sorry, sellers. Um, I think Tuesday, we saw that selling, which is the last place where sellers were in control. And then we just did this example on Friday, where on Wednesday the last place where sellers were in control was the 447 level, and that provided a clear entry for Friday's sell-offs. And also Wednesday's highs were Thursday's entries for longs. So like every single day when the market closes, go back and look at the price action and look at the critical levels, and then use those in your pre-market plan or when you're playing out different possible scenarios for the next day. And it's going to give you so much clarity on what's going to happen, and it's going to allow you to be patient to wait for confirmation around those levels.
Exactly.
It's helped me so much in
No,
making my pre-market plan and helping me be more patient. So I encourage everyone to
entirely.
do that. Just go back and look at this week was a perfect
Well,
example
and
for that.
well,
Every single day this week had an example of that.
Well, and another thing, another reason why we do that is for targets. I mean, look, I mean,
Yep.
your previous levels are your targets. Like anytime I'm breaking down targets, guys, I'm literally pulling from previous day price action, previous day price action, previous price patterns. Right? This is how you identify. Hey, there was a seller here. Now there's a buyer here. Right? Invalidated. Okay, this is how your brain is going to switch from bullish to bearish, bearish to bullish, right? And then play those levels. I don't care what it looks like. Like when the market was doing this right here, we had this massive sell off here, and then we were getting this pullback, right? That's when the market looked like this, and I remember thinking I used to want to go long right here, and I'm going, dude, look at this. There's nothing that can make me go long right here. So use that 1 hour, right? That 1 hour is going to change the game for you. And now also look at how that 4458 level, right, from previous price action was a perfect level to identify as a selling point, right? So, when you're holding below a previous day, that's just, once again, looking at the 1 hour as if it's a 5 minute. That has helped my trading so much, right? I'm looking at this as if it's a 5 minute time frame, and it's helping me, right? Identify break and retest, identify bearish conditions, right? I want to trade with them. If sellers do show up here, I'm going short, targeting 44279, and that's literally, guys, we were pennies away from it. Um, you know, so yeah, use those. But once again, I'm to the point where it's like, okay, if we do hold below, if buyers do defend 44526 right here, okay, then I'll be bullish, looking for a move to the upside, right? So it's all like, hey, I don't care what happens. I just want to make sure I know what's happening, right? I just want to react. So yeah, really good stuff, guys. Listen, I got to wrap this up, man. This was really good, guys. Thanks for tuning in. This was a phenomenal recap. I hope everybody has a really good day. Thank you for your involvement. Thanks for showing up, guys. Trading, you're gonna get what you put into it, right? So if anybody wants to rewatch this, I will be posting it in the weekly webinar channel on the Discord. Have a great weekend, everybody. I will see you guys Monday.
Sounds good. Amazing week, guys. I'll catch you guys